Both. I'm Hello and welcome. This gets started about 10 minutes. There's going to be 10 minutes of blank time. So, for those of you that are watching the replay, there's going to be about 10 minutes before it starts. So, fast forward.
Oh, no, I'm saying he texted. Hey, Alan, I understand that you're going to be here at 3:30. Yeah,
I should be close. I didn't know if
yeah.
Hello.
John, we were worried.
See, now I was in the military. Ralph was back. Yeah. So good. Yeah. So how are you?
I
Make my business happen.
I'll be up here speaking.
Yeah, no, sorry, no water.
That is. Thank you. I am so dry right now. Thank I was wondering. Yeah, so she I don't
Oh, it was a magnanimous change. Yeah, we were in this little AV room when I left.
How would you try it now? Now that I'm retired, I have some mobility issues. I couldn't walk around trying to find Four minutes. 4 minutes. With time limitation.
Sure.
Seated. So we want to get people seated so we can start punctually. But until they finish their conversations. Gang, if I can have your attention, please. Please find your seats. We're going to be starting about 2 or 3 minutes. Like I said, 10 seconds now. It's done. We listen, not like the others. Is everyone here who wants to be here?
Anyone who's not here, raise your hand.
Dennis? Okay. Thank you, John. You hear, John? Why don't we get started maybe a couple minutes early, so make sure that we can keep to our time limitation. First of all, I want to say thank you to everyone who showed up today for this special occasion. If you saw the sign outside, it mentioned the White Fellows alum and a tribute to Dick Covert. There's two messages embedded in that sign. First, alone. That's who we are. Most of us have provided 50 plus minus years of service to HIMSS. Most of us are retired. Hi, Pam. And we've been kicking around quite a bit a need for us to get together probably one last time. The last time I think we really congregated was for the 50th celebration, the anniversary of the society in this building back in 2011. So it's important that we put the word in there to let you know, we are the old timers, the old Buffaloes, as John Page would say. Second, talking about Dick Covert. And let me start off by saying, you know what today is? Today is the Ides of March, right? And based on what our friend Mark said, we have come to praise Caesar, right? Well, in a powerful sense, we're here today on the Ides of March to praise the Covert. And there is a similarity. Caesar more or less shaped history, as Dick Covert shaped the history of the profession, the health system engineering profession, and of him. So I think we are here on an appropriate opportunity to celebrate. Now, let me start off by saying this was not an overnight thing. There was a group of us who spent a lot of time, the better part of a year, putting this show together. And if all else fails, the one thing that we were able to accomplish is by now we know how to use Zoom. Right, Peter?
What's Zoom?
What's Zoom? You see? Okay. All kidding aside, I'd like to make mention of the people who worked with me. Actually, Peter and I put our heads together and said, Dick is getting up in years as well as we are something. And we said, well, let's get a small group of people, a core group of people who can work together and see what we can develop. So we brought on some other life flows to help us out. So let me first of all introduce who these are. Peter Ryerson, as you know. Peter Ryerson succeeded me as the president and chairman of the board in 1985. John Templin. John, I don't know if everyone knows John. John is the guy who would trip over the ribbons at the conferences. John has, as far as I know, the most number of ribbons in his collection. Is that correct, John?
It's a few, yes.
Dennis, is this
One for every year that I am, I think.
one for every year? Oh, Dennis, we've been working with Dennis too. But Dennis, you said you had something to say about John.
When we left the hotel today, John came to the bus stop and he already had ribbons. I don't remember what they all say, but they weren't official HIMSS ribbons. But when we were here this afternoon, I've spoken to just about everybody remembering John's ribbons. So, because this is a Dick Covert's affair and event, to make it official, I have gotten a whole bunch of ribbons for John to wear, so that it would be the official meeting and remembrance of the event. So here we go. And the first one says senior. Okay, and that's appropriate.
Not junior.
No, you're senior.
You're a senior member plus.
I'll wear it like
I have to wear it like every normally do.
Then we thought that we'd like to have people presenting. Well, no, let me continue. There are two other members of the group who could not be here. One, Mark Tepping. He worked very hard and diligently with us. Mark was on his way down. He was in Delaware, and there was a medical situation in the family. So last Saturday, he needed to turn around and go back to Connecticut. So, Mark, I know you're out there. Thank you for all the help. The last member of the group is Justin Myrick. Everyone knows Justin. Justin knew way back when would not be attending because he was planning on being a grandfather for the first time, right around now. And I have good news to tell. He became a grandfather this morning. So as I said to Justin, mazel tov to you. Now, we could not have done this without the support of our HIMSS family, the HIMSS staff. Don BL, Young, there, Don BL. She was our point person, and I think she probably had enough of me. And I think Mary Diker in the back there, trying to calm it down. But I think the most reassuring is the support we got from Joanne Kleindienst, who knew the formidable challenge her staffers would have working with me. So thank you for letting us. And congratulations, because she is becoming a new member of our group as a life fellow. So congratulations to you. Now, I see in front of me a camera. Why? Because we are streaming. And I'd like to recognize all those who aren't here that are streaming in and joining in to celebrate Dick. We have past leaders of the organization. I know of at least one recipient of the Rich P. Covert Award who is tuning in. So to all of you folks, thank you. Also, I just want to let you know there's been requests and it will be done. It's being done on YouTube platform, and a link will go out for you to view it at a later time. So I'd like to thank Ralph Covert for enabling that to happen. As far as the format is, we're going to go from now until about 4:30, 5 o'clock. I'm sorry, no, 4:30. And at this time, we'll be able to mingle, schmooze, and eat and good stuff, followed by the advancement program, the advancement ceremony for new. This is basically for life members, right? Or is it also fellows? Yeah. Okay. Well, we have to talk about it. Okay. What we're going to do is there's going to be a few of us who are going to talk a little about, provide a little stories about our relationship with Dick. We're going to start. We looked at Dick's tenure and when he started in '78. Who is the most prominent individual? And that would be, I'm looking at you, Alan Goldberg. He was the president of the society in 1979. Or Alan? Thank you. And I will be talking, Peter will be talking, and at the end of Dick's tenure, his retirement, John Page handed Dick's baton. So John will have a few words to say as well. Okay, so did you want to talk now, or I can talk at the same time? Okay, let me talk. It's going to be difficult because I've known Dick for, we spoke about this morning, over breakfast, 50 plus years. And how do I talk 50 years in a few moments? It's hard. Let me see if I could just highlight some things, snippets. I'm not going to tell stories. But I first met Dick when I got into the field of hospital systems engineering when I was in New York City in 1971. Dick was a resource. It was called the Clearinghouse for Hospital Management Engineering at Medical College of Virginia, Richmond. And his resource provided information about what all the engineers in the field were doing at that time. And also, we were able to provide documentation, information to add to that trove of good stuff. So I met him there. Then the next thing was what I called the Madison Connection. I was at the University of Wisconsin hospitals, and that's when I really became engaged in activities with HIMSS. And that's when also Dick and I started connecting quite a bit. But before Dick took the helm, let me tell you something about the connections. One of my peers in Madison visited me in my office, a fellow by the name of Bruce Tienin. Remember Bruce? Bruce came to me and said, you know, I have this opportunity to be the director of HIMSS. So we chatted, and he took the position, but I don't know for how long, 1 or 2 years. And then Dick came in and took over. But also, the Madison Connection included students from UW, some of who worked with me. One in particular was Ellen Eunice. If you recall Ellen, they hired her as an assistant director of the society. And then there was Mark McDougall from UW, who also worked as the assistant director with Dick, right? Remember Mark? Mark is now connected with HL7. So we have that connection. Mara and Don Biel and I were chatting in the back with Dick about some of the history of HIMSS. And in 2006, the board asked me to see if we can publish the history, create the history, a living document that'll carry on over from year to year. And we formed what we call a legacy work group that consisted of the Life Fellows, the older Life Fellows. And we spent a lot of time doing this, and we put together something that was presented in 2007, copywritten by HIMSS in 2013. And basically, there were 2 key resources to it. One was Dick. Dick, in prior years, had gone through newsletters and all sorts of information from HIMSS and documented what was going on. And these were inserted into the annual, it was called the Direct Membership Record. And I think the membership directly went until 2001. And we wanted to be able to embellish what Dick had and go beyond 2001. And the other major resource was from A. Gerner, who I knew. I was in Pittsburgh. He was a neighbor in Pittsburgh. And as you know, he was the first president of HIMSS. And also, he was one of the founding members of HIMSS. So between those 2 key resources and pulling these Life Fellows together, we were able to create this document, this living document. Now, that's 2006. The next time prior to that, let me interject something. After Dick retired, there was a couple of times that I was working for an executive down in Kentucky, in a healthcare facility outside of Lexington. And a few times I visited Dick, Gene, and Nancy. And I thank you for the hospitality. We had dinner at his house, and I know another time we went out for Chinese food. That's the first time I knew there was decent Chinese food in Lexington. Who would have thought that? And let me say the last time that I was with Dick was the SHS Awards Banquet in 2012 in New Orleans. And Roz, my wife, and I were sitting next to Dick and Jean, I'm sorry. And we were chatting, and I was sitting right next to Jean, and she very naturally, unknowingly said to me, you know, the best thing that ever happened to Dick was having a scholarship named after him. And she leans over and says, who do I thank? I was very humbled. With that said, we'll turn it over to Alan.
Thanks, Mary. Great job. Through my hoarseness, can everybody hear me okay? Great. So this is a short story from 1979 about Dick Covert and President Gerald Ford. I was president of HIMSS in 1979.
Let me see that.
I worked for the Massachusetts Hospital Association at the time. Hospital associations are advisory organizations. Most try to help their members by getting them more money, saving them money, etc. In 1979, HIMSS was a wholly owned subsidiary of the American Hospital Association, which was the national advocacy organization headed by Alex McMahon. All you need to know about hospital associations is they are very political. Here is the background of what was going on in 1979. In 1977, hospital expenditures rose 15.8%. In 1978, hospital expenditures rose 12.9%. In 1979, 30-year mortgages were 11.2%. In mid-February of '79, the White House asked hospitals to hold their expenditures to 9.7%. A 9.7% increase in '79. Alex McMahon said that was impossible. 1979 HIMSS meeting theme was cost containment, caps, and consumerism. It had been a rough weather winter in the U.S. in '79. We were all looking forward coming to Tucson, Arizona in mid-February. People were ready to go. It was the very first time that HIMSS went to a second hotel. We were very excited meeting the two hotels for the first time. Tucson had a lot of rain the week before HIMSS. There was a PGA golf tournament in town the week we were there, the Joe Garagiola Tucson Open. However, golf course where the tournament was to be held got flooded. So they moved golf tournament to a municipal golf course across the street from our little convention hotel. This is where the fun began. I was with Dick when he got a call. One ringing, two ringing dings. Dr. Covert. Dick, this is Alex McMahon's secretary. Please hold. Hello, Dick. This is Alex. Dick, how can I help? Even then, Dick was all business, very focused, no nonsense. We have a problem that I need your help with. I just got a call from President Ford's press secretary. They would like President Ford to stay in the presidential suite at your hotel. No problem. Alan Goldberg is staying there, and I can move him to some empty rooms we have in the basement next to the laundry. I said, great, but I have one other thing to mention. In addition to President Ford's room, the Secret Service needs rooms on all sides of President Ford, plus rooms on the floor below. They need 8 additional rooms. Alex, I cannot move 8 people in a sold-out conference somewhere else. Why don't you suggest to President Ford that he stay where he was planning to stay and get a limo to take him over to the golf tournament? I'm sure the hotel that he's in, which is a lot nicer than the hotel we're in, will appreciate his loyalty in the business. Alex said, I don't think the Secret Service is used to getting a no. However, what happened was they did not come to our hotel and move things. And it was very successful.
They came
When-
just for a reception.
Yeah. When Dick got off the phone, he said to me, I was okay to move you, but I'm staying next to the floor of the hotel, and I'm not moving. President Ford played the Joe Garagiola Tucson Open with Joe, with Yogi Berra, and with golf pro Miller Barber. They finished last.
And when he came out of the hotel, he tripped. As usual. I met Dr. Covert before I had any gray hair. I met Dr. Covert before I had any gray hair. I originally met him in Richmond, Virginia. You and Bill Delmar were doing a seminar there, a 2-day seminar. I was working at Pennsylvania Hospital, and I remember sitting down, going the whole day. We broke for dinner, and then came back, and then right after dinner, you pulled a TV in, and we watched the President of the United States preside. Wow. I was president of HIMSS and had a wonderful time there. During the time I was president, this is the man that worked behind the scenes. He sent me to Canada we were trying to change from a national to an international organization, which is wonderful. So I went up there, I flew in Canada, got the trolley to the office, person that runs healthcare for Canada. But on the trolley ride in, a woman came aboard the trolley with 2 chickens under her. And I can still see this way back then. She got on board, and the conductor said, "Lady, you can't bring live fowl aboard this vehicle." She said, "Why?" "Because you're not allowed to." And she just reached over and went, snap, snap, and continued on. By the way, 1986, your wife came in after a board meeting, and and presented each one of us with a mug. I still have this. It's going home with me again. My wife and I have not dropped it. It says HMSS 1986. Now the important thing. I'll come to you.
Come up. Okay.
He's walking better than me.
Dr. Covert, this is a design signed by the artist. We've gotten this. Sorry about the fingerprints that are on it, but I thought it would be something you would like to have. Thank you. Thank you for everything you've done for all of us.
Well, thank you.
Hey, Vince, hi. I can go sit down.
Yes,
Well,
you can.
not yet, I have something for you too.
Peter, are you done?
Look. Okay, all right. John, you don't mind if I cut in?
Go ahead, Barry.
Okay, I know. My last position before I retired was as director of a graduate program in health systems engineering at the University of Pittsburgh. And they knew my connection to HIMSS, and they knew what the connection the University of Pittsburgh had for the inception of hospital systems engineering and the sowing of the seed for this organization. So we, as Dick knows, I spearheaded a permanent exhibit in the Swanson School of Engineering called the Smalley Kuhn Award, a memorial exhibit. And basically, very quickly, Ruth Kuhn was the Dean of Nursing at Pitt, and she and Dr. Lillian Gilbreth brought a fellow by the name of Harold Smalley in from the University of Connecticut. And Harold became an associate professor at Pitt and also assistant to the vice chancellor of health professions at Pitt. And he imbued health systems engineering throughout all the medical professions, medical school, school nursing, so on and so forth, allied health professions, so on and so forth, graduate school of public health. And we basically put together an exhibit to honor the University of Pittsburgh's legacy to the development of the field of health systems engineering, which of course, between Harold Smalley and Ruth Kuhn, it was developed. And also, as you know, Harold Smalley was the vanguard for the idea of having a society, which became HIMSS. And a number of people, including this Ed Gerner that I alluded to before, who was a graduate of the school and became first president of the society, they and a handful of others got together and mapped out on, according to Ed Gerner, they got together yearly in the hotel in Baltimore on paper napkins and designed society. So the rest is history. But what I want to say is that in order to accomplish this, I have a plaque here. This is a replica of the plaque that hangs on the wall, and it addresses the contributors to this effort. First was the Harold Smalley family. As a matter of fact, Harold's son-in-law was also from Pittsburgh, and an avid Steelers fan. And he came in, they live in the Atlanta area. He flew up, he goes to the games, he flew up with his son, and they took a look at it. So they gave it a thumbs up. Edward Gerner, who we mentioned, John Freeman, everyone knows John Freeman, and of course, Richard Covert. So, Dick, this is for you. Again, it's hanging in the hallowed walls of the University of Pittsburgh. And congratulations. And for those who aren't aware, Dick and I, back in '84, spent a lot of time together when we're having an advancement program here. When we created the advancement program, the senior members and the fellows. And Dick and I, when I was in Madison, had many phone calls back and forth. We were looking at the first set of people who would be inducted as fellows. And we went through the criteria and whatnot. And this is how the fellows program began through Dick's help. Dick? John, do you have anything to add, or how much time do we have?
Pardon me, this is for,
Oh,
check it out, speaking of.
what year was this?
84 maybe?
Oh, probably. Well, I think no. That's the new newer design. That will fit in. Why don't you put it over your jacket when you're done? John, do you have a few words now, or did you want to say something while you're up here?
I have nothing to say.
Oh, okay. We left him dumbfounded. That's great. John, I've never known Dick to be silenced.
That's because you don't let him get a word in. He's from New York. He doesn't know to stop.
John,
Because I'm from New York.
John will be our last talker.
The worst thing you can do is be the last speaker before dinner. Even worse than that, for drinks. So I will definitely keep it short. Good to see so many old Buffaloes here today. I've never felt this young since the Righteous Brothers concert we went to in Palm Springs. I mean, we were the youngest people there. Steve Escamilla, you're ruining this curve here, man.
Yeah, I think so. But he's the only one without gray hair.
That's great. Oh,
It's
Roger.
not been a long time, I felt young.
Oh, Roger too. Yeah. Thank you.
If it weren't for Peter Ryerson and Dick Covert, there would be no John Page associated with HIMSS. So you have him and him to blame for this.
Those are two hymns. So
Two
makes it
HIMSS,
him.
that's right.
Okay.
I don't know what pronouns they're using these days, so I'm just going to say him. At the end of the day, Dick taught me one good thing. If you're going to focus on the members, you're never going to go wrong, right? And that's what we did. In the time, I mean, this is my 40th conference. Started out of Georgia Tech. Met Dick with an introduction from Peter. Wrote some papers, did some volunteer work, and then became a staff person. But at the end of the day, I think the one thing we did was make sure that we focused on what was good for the membership. And if it was good for the membership, then we should do it. That was the best thing I can take away from Dick. With a shout out to Ralph. Dad was a good example, Ralph. So, there was lots of bad examples out there, but your dad was a good one and a true mentor. So appreciate Dick, everything you did. This would not be here today were it not for you. So thank you.
Again, thank you everyone for showing up. And we failed. Ralph's name came up, but Cheryl, I don't think your name came up. Cheryl Hillinger, who is Hillinger. Okay, who is Dick's daughter. So everyone, unless there's any comments, I think we've had it. Oh, wait a second.
I am deeply touched by this reading and having all of you here and having this chance. They shut me blind throughout this. I did not know what was going to happen until we got here. I am pleased that there are this many of you that are willing to come to this kind of a meeting. And I hope that you will continue to want to remember, not read necessarily as much as hymns and what hymns does. Thank you very much.
All right, Joanne.
Again, we open up, you want to say,
So at this time, we're gonna begin the advancement reception and bring the fellow and team members in. You all are free to stay and join us for the reception, have some refreshments, and so thank you all for being here.
thank you.
This was really nice. Thank you so much.
So hopefully you're.
Thanks for watching.